This chapter will consider social process theories. These theories examine the interaction between the individual and their own environment. Some of the more popular theories in this area include differential association, drift theory, and social control theory. Differential association theory looks at how delinquents learn crime from others. Drift theory proposes that any examination of the process of becoming deviant must seriously consider both the internal components of the individual and the influence of the external environment. And social control theory provides an explanation for why some people violated the law while others resist pressures to become delinquent. We will also look at several integrated theories at the end of the chapter and consider life course perspectives as well. As I stated earlier in the semester, differential association is one of the most popular, most cited theories, not only in juvenile delinquency, but for adult crime as well. This theory was developed by Edwin Sutherland, who proposed that delinquents learn crime from others. The basic premise is that delinquency, just like any other form of behavior, is a product of social interaction. Sutherland contends that individuals are constantly being changed as they take on the expectations and ideas of the people with whom they interact in intimate small groups. Sutherland started developing his theory in the late 1930s and revised it until publications in 1945. Sutherland had a number of important ideas and principles that he based his theory upon. These ideas are that criminal or delinquent behavior is learned. It's learned through both verbal and nonverbal communication. That this learning occurs in intimate small groups, and the relationships in these small groups are more important than other messages that we get, such as through the movies, television, or the newspapers. Criminal behavior is learned through not only actions, but also the motives, the drives, the rationalizations, and the attitudes of other group members. Sutherland also proposed that culture conflict developed when the youth developed relationships with other delinquents. Differential associations also vary in frequency, duration, priority, and intensity. And the final principle was that the motives of delinquent youth are different than those for conventional behaviors. Sutherland's theory of differential association has been very popular, and he is one of the most cited theorists during the past 40 years. His theory has been particularly relevant to public policy development in the areas of crime and delinquency. This slide helps simplify what I just set out for you. It should help you see that there is conflict regarding what is appropriate behaviors for delinquent versus non-delinquent youth, and that what is acceptable is learned through small group interactions. Not only does the delinquent youth learn how to do illegal acts, but they also learn the attitudes that will support violating the law through these small group interactions. The result, then, is delinquent behavior. Drift theory was developed by David Matza during the 1960s at the University of Berkeley. Matza proposed that the process of becoming delinquent occurs when the juvenile neutralizes themselves from the moral bounds of the law and drifts into delinquency. Drift, according to Matza, means that the youth transiently exists in limbo between convention and crime, responding at certain times to one or the other, flirting with one then the other, i.e., the youth drifts back and forth between convention and criminal activity. Matza put much more emphasis than Sutherland did on the choices that youth make, and Matza believed also that one of the reasons that youth drift towards delinquency is due to a sense of injustice that the youth experiences due to their unconventional behavior. Matza also proposed that youth tend to neutralize their behavior, to try and insulate themselves from the responsibility of wrongdoing, that they tend to deny responsibility in statements such as, "I didn't mean to do it," or to deny injury in statements such as, "I did not hurt anyone," that youth may deny victimizing others through statements like, "they had it coming to them," or that youth would condemn their condemners, saying things like, everyone is picking on me. And also that youth may appeal to higher loyalties through statements such as, I didn't do it for myself. Drift theory has not received a great deal of recognition in the past several decades. However, it's a useful theory that is worth consideration for explaining a great deal of delinquent behavior.